Hi everyone. Today on this session we will be presenting a review of several scientific articles that focuses on interventions for carpal tunnel syndrome. And before we dive in, let me introduce the team behind this presentation. Along with me, there is Alma Asura. This project was worked on by Hanum Permata Azahra and Dewi Oktaviani.
So, before our group want to describe a lot about a few journal that we have already studying about, we should know what is carpal tunnel syndrome. Carpal tunnel syndrome is a widespread compressive peripheral neuropathy that involves the entrapment of the median nerve in its passage at the carpal tunnel in the wrist. In the carpal tunnel, mechanical pressure applied to synovial tissues can result in biomechanical change in the underlying tissues, which can thus elevate intercarpal pressure and increase symptoms. Patients with carpal tunnel syndrome will have a sign and symptoms like tingling, numbness, and nighttime burning edges of the affected hands in the wrist. Clinical signs may include a decreased fine motor skill and feeling light touch sensation. So, a first journal that we gonna discuss about it have a title Efficacy of Splinting the Wrist and Metacarpophalangeal Joint for the Treatment of Carpal Tunnel Syndrome, an assessor blind randomized control trial. In this title, we have already know it's about a group with carpal tunnel syndrome disease, and we're gonna find out about efficacy of splinting the wrist. And in this journal, there's method assessor blinded randomized control trial, but we're gonna discuss about a lot more than the title. And first, the author is Nadar Alotaibi and Mane in 2023. The object about this journal is to compare the efficacy of a traditional cock-up splint with a modified splint that support the wrist and the metacarpophalangeal joints of the medial four digit in the treatment of carpal tunnel syndrome. And in this journal, use a method like the title say, an assessor blind randomized control trial with 59 adults with mild to moderate carpal tunnel syndrome disease were randomly assigned to wear a wrist splint in the control group or an metacarpophalangeal joint splint in intervention group for 6 weeks long. In this journal, researchers use a lot of tools to measure patients with carpal tunnel syndrome. There is a grip and pinch strength, the static 2 points discrimination test, Palin maneuver test, Tinel sign, and Boston carpal tunnel syndrome questionnaire. And in this journal, we're finding that a wrist splint will incorporate the metacarpophalangeal joints more effective than the traditional wrist-only splint, with long-lasting improvement that remain consistent after 6 months of the splint intervention. So, in is the finding could use in practical implication. The journals have mentioned that using the more effective metacarpophalangeal splint may consequently reduce disability and facilitate return to work and lower the associated cost. But there's a limitation that is first, did not measure patient satisfaction or daily hand use because in the second, metacarpophalangeal splint was more effective but less comfortable. And third, there is no data on upper limb exercise effect. Fourth, future studies should include tendon or nerve grinding uh, for the intervention. Fifth, anti inflammatory medication use was uncontrolled. And the last is no electrophysiological measurements.
Okay, so for the second article is group educations, night splinting, and home exercise reduce conversion to surgery for carpal tunnel syndrome, a multicenter randomized trial. The author of this article is Louis Kijay et al. And for the aims or objective of this article is to know whether people with carpal tunnel syndrome who are waitlisted for surgical consultation. Does a therapist-led care pathway involving education, splinting, and exercises reduce the need for surgery and improve patient outcomes? And the methods of the article or the study is a multi-center randomized control trial with concealed allocation, blinded assessment, and intention to treat analysis on 105 people with electrodiagnostically confirmed carpal tunnel syndrome on a wait list for surgical consultation and recruit from four public hospitals. And for the variables or tools are the Global Rating of Change or GROC scale, patient satisfaction, symptom severity, and functional limitation. And for the main findings of this article is therapy sleep pathway reduce conversion to carpal tunnel surgery and increase perceived improvement and satisfaction in people who were already on a wait list for surgical consultation. And for the practical implication is they were in people waiting carpal tunnel surgery. A combination of education, splinting, and home exercises reduce progression to surgery and increase perceived improvement and satisfaction. And for the last one is the limitation of this article is the absence of patient satisfaction and daily hand function assessment because it did not account for the effects of upper limb exercises or control for anti-inflammatory medication use, which may have influenced results. Additionally, electrophysiological parameters were not included despite being a standard for CTS measurement. Okay, so for the next article is the title is Comparative Efficacy of Routine Physical Therapy with and Without Neuromobilization in the Treatment of Patients with Mild to Moderate Carpal Tunnel Syndrome. And for the author of this article is Muhammad Junaid Ijaz et al. The aims of this article is to compare the effectiveness of routine physical therapy with and without neural mobilization in the management of mild to moderate CTS. And the methods of this article of this study is prospective randomized control trial or RCT, 66 CTS patient, two groups. There are routine therapy plus neural mobilization and 6 week intervention. So for the variables is there are pain or NPRS, range of motion, muscle strength, and hand function. And for the main findings of this article is neural mobilization resulted in greater improvement in range of motion, pain reduction, and hand function compared to routine therapy alone. And there are no significant differences in muscle strength improvement. And for the practical implication is neural mobilization can be added to CTS treatment for better better outcomes before considering the surgery. And for the limitation of this article is um, the article is short-term results. Further research is needed to evaluate
The
long-term.
journal is effectiveness of focused extracorporeal shock therapy in the treatment of the carpal tunnel syndrome. The author, Kessler et al. 2020, the aims and object to elevate the effectiveness of a focused extracorporeal shock wave therapy in the treatment of multi-moderate carpal tunnel syndrome. The methods randomly assigned into two groups. The variable and tools. The variable pain and strength tool was Henry Boson carpal tunnel syndrome questionnaires, SV36 heart survey, and electrodiagnostic measurement. The finding: the FESWT group saw significant improvement in FAST score at week 3 with p-value 0.018 and week 12 with p-value 0.007, as well as increased hand grip strength at week 12 with p-value 0.019. Additionally, there was a significant improvement in sensory nerve conduction velocity and distal motor latency of the median nerve at week 12. No similar improvements were observed in the control group. The practical implication: VESWT may be considered an effective non-inpatient treatment option for multi-moderate CTS, offering an alternative to steroid injection or surgery. The limitation: the study has a small sample size and is a pilot trial requiring further research with a larger sample to confirm these findings. The last article: the effect of virtual reality media tendon and nerve cladding exercise in the conservative management of carpal tunnel syndrome, a double-blind randomized placebo-controlled trial. The, au- the author Arman et al. 2024. The aims are the object to elevate the effect of virtual reality media tendon and nerve coding exercise in the conservative management of carpal tunnel syndrome. The methods: double-blind randomized placebo-controlled interventional trial. Variable and tool. Variable symptom severity measure tool: numeric rating scale (NRS) and Boston Carpal Tunnel Questionnaires (BCTQ). The finding: virtual reality-mediated exercise improves symptoms and hand function in patients with carpal tunnel syndrome. The practical implication: virtual reality-mediated exercise can be used as a non-invasive intervention to enhance symptoms and hand function in patients with carpal. The limitation: this study is a pilot trial with a limited sample size. Okay, the last conclusion: based on six journal, various conservative treatments for carpal tunnel syndrome (CTS) are effective in reducing symptoms and improving hand function. The modified MCP splint provide better long-term outcomes than standard splint. Therapy-led program with education, night splinting, and home exercise reduce the need for surgery. Neural mobilization techniques improve pain, range of motion, and function, touch not muscle strength, but both neurodynamic techniques (NT) and carpal bone mobilization (CBNT) with tendon cladding exercise (TGE) are effective, but NT show better nerve conduction result. Focus extracorporeal shock wave therapy FESWT also reduce pain and improve grip strength and nerve conduction. Overall, these conservative therapies are promising non-invasive options for managing multi-moderate CTS.